Happy Sunday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell. Happy, wonderful Sunday. And not just because it's National Atheist Day, but because it's my feet are feeling good day. I will go into that later. Let's go back into the Atheist Day thing. Today is Atheist Day, and you know how everybody has Daughter's Day and Son's Day and Donut Day? Well, there's an Atheist Day, and it's March 23rd. I had to put it in my calendar to remind myself, and then I Googled it, and then some of the organizations that I used to frequent, are posting about it, and they got a little symbol. I mean, it's just something, But one of the things I kind of wanted to go into was, and I posted something on my timeline last night, just a little blurb, not even a blurb, just a picture of Atheist Day. Because, I'm no longer that person anymore, to put it crudely and obtusely, or whatever that means, without explaining myself completely. I'm not as antagonistic about it. I don't feel, threatened anymore so much as probably me being threatened. I feel that, my point of view is out there and has been recognized, duly recognized enough to where I'm cool now. I'm cool. In fact, I don't even campaign or promote or push it out there anymore like I used to. Before, I used to be like wanted to get it out there and promote it and campaign for it. I walked in marches for it. But now, I feel we're at a point where we won. We'll win. It just takes time. It just takes time. And I believe time in history and the natural progression or evolution or development of human beings, mainly that kids today are waking up, walking around with all the information in the world in their hand every day on their phone. That in itself, that's going to answer all their questions. They won't have to look for super miraculous answers to the hard questions. They'll get hard answers. They'll get, I don't know, we don't know yet. This is what science says, this is what that says. They'll see all different aspects of religion. There's different religions. And what also not concerns me, but is on my mind, is that their mother and their parents may tell them something. How did this happen? Well, God created this, God created that. Then they'll go look on the internet, and in my mind, they'll find a better answer. They'll find a much more plausible, better answer. One more realistic, more practical, I don't know, practical, pragmatic, I don't know what the word is, but they'll find a better answer on the internet. And then they may look at their parents. They'll still love their parents. They probably, they'll still respect their parents, but they'll understand, they'll compartmentalize. They'll understand that, well, my parents still believe that, so, And there'll be other parents, there'll other kids' parents will be the same way. And it's enough on the internet, and they'll be so socially involved with so many different things, they'll understand exactly what's going on. And the key part is the understanding. And then the bigger scope of different religions and ideologies and beliefs that they'll come across. They just won't grow up in a neighborhood thinking everybody's Baptist believe that everybody believes in the same God, Jesus, in the Church of God in Christ. They're different. There's so many different. And where you live at really depends on what religion you are. And then as far as Christianity goes over in the United States, and that's predominantly one here, and that's the one that I kind of probably bumped up against the most. Most of the people don't even believe in Christianity. Most of the people in the world don't believe in Christianity. But if you lived here, you would think everybody believed in Jesus. Not only you would think everybody believed in Jesus, but you would, more than once I've been told that I was the first atheist people have ever met. More than once I've been told I was the first person who didn't believe in God that they had ever met. So the idea of not believing in God wasn't even out there for a lot of people. The idea, the possibility not to believe in God. Oh, that's a thing? That's possible? And that's one of the things in my atheist walking video that kind of got me some attention, notoriety, and it was mentioned more than once by a few people, more than a few people, that I started the atheist revolution on YouTube. My video, Atheist Walking, was one of the first atheist videos on YouTube because it showed people how to answer the questions about God if you don't believe. Nobody knew how. The dialogue had never, it was like the dialogue was never there in public. So the masses was able to see, oh, so this is a cool way to have a conversation about God, ask questions, you don't believe in them, and to express your opinion that you don't believe. And that's what Atheist Walking did, because I was well aware the camera was rolling. And it wasn't staged. We were just happened to be walking. We might have been acting, but it wasn't staged. And so we went through it, and it came out, and it resonated with a lot of people. It resonated with a lot of people, the way I handled it, my spontaneousness, plus, my personality, the energy I had, just the whole flow of everything. They probably, not too many cool people, hip people, whatever, walking around, being able to, and plus I was black, being able to bring some reasonable counter arguments against the belief in Jesus. And so, that's why that kind of resonated and made it to, prominency, or what's the word when prominence became prominence, or whatever the word is, however you want to call it. But anyhow, that's that. That's when to get that out there on Atheist Day. But today, the reason I feel good today is my feet is fixed. I got my feet fixed. Yesterday, I'm gonna show you, and that's today, when I was laying in the bed, I learned how to do this app. I learned how to adjust the app to where I could show screenshots while I'm walking on these things live. Because the whole idea is for me to produce and make these things without having to go back and render it and reproduce it and add this and that. So I set up what they call overlays. So I should be able to show you some pictures of what I was doing, what I did yesterday. But yesterday, the shower knob broke. Basically, it worn out. You turn it, there was no grip, there was no groove in it anymore. So you turn it, and it would just keep turning. So I had to go get a new one of those. I said, well, while I'm out, let me stop by Walgreens. Actually, I was gonna get an X-Acto knife. I was gonna get an X-Acto knife to fix my feet. I even looked at one to pick one up. I even Googled, can you sanitize a utility knife to use it? I even Googled it. But I went ahead and I saw some at Walgreens, so I drove to Walgreens, and I also had a callus or a corn, I don't know which one to call it, but it got so big it was hurting my right foot and my left foot from the podiatrist. The ingrown nail was killing me. Yesterday I walked, did I say I was on the alternate route? Did I say I'm at an undisclosed location, alternate weekend route? Well, I am. And when I walk this route, it's a long way. It's kind of a longer walk, and it's kind of more grueling, but I don't mind it. So I need to get it in, because that way, after I get back, I feel like I ain't got to do nothing now for the rest of the day. So, except for go get me some Cleo's chicken, I think there's gonna be some food eating today. Woke up this morning at 201.6 or 201.8 or something, which ain't too bad, I guess. It's probably good, but I wish it would have been lower, but it wasn't. So, well, I mean, it's a good number. And just walking today, what I'm gonna do today, it's gonna be good. Monday, I'll be good. Because Saturday I woke up, but I didn't get up to like 1. I laid in bed to like 1. And I was like 200.4 when I first woke up. My first weight today was 200.4, something like that. So, when I woke up at 201.6 or something today, yeah, because I had some chips last night, had a big burrito. But anyway, so I'm feeling good. I'm out walking. Where was I? I forgot. So I went, of course I got my block of miles, and I strongly believe that the reason this weight is coming off is because of the black of miles. Smoking is at the least a distraction from eating, or it may actually do something to my appetite, but I definitely believe that smoking them black of miles definitely has a direct effect on my appetite and how much I may eat or not eat. So we gotta figure that out when I get to a certain point to where, I'm gonna get off the black of miles. But so far, I do them I wanted to just do them on the weekends. Now I'm just doing them every day after work. I never before work. On the weekends, I'll wake up, because ain't nothing like hitting that first one in the weekend, in the morning, going back to bed, or eating and just diving down in it, just indulging in it, just going down that rabbit hole, getting that, whatever that nicotine buzz or whatever it does to my metabolism in my body, and eating and just being all, It's not a high. It's not high. It's not a weed high. And I don't want a weed high. I don't want that. Weed high can almost get you up and creative and doing stuff and moving, and experiencing. This is more of a sedation. This is more of like a sedative almost to me. So I got to work on that when I get my weight down. And it's a good chance I should be, I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there. I'm just gonna say where I'm gonna get. I would like to go, if I can go under 190, that'd be fun. If I can go under 190 this time, because each time I go down lower, each like, it might be a year between major dips, but each time I go down lower, like the last time I went down to 195, maybe it was like 200 to maybe 195. A year later, I was able to get down to go way back up to 215, 220, and come back down to 195, and go way back up to 220, 225, and go down to 190 like that. But anyway, so I went, and I even looked at the X-Acto knife at Lowe's. So I had to, I got the shower thing, which cost me 15 bucks, which I thought that little cap should only cost like $5 or $6. Cost me 15 bucks, because I had to get not only the knob, but the lever, the temperature lever I had to buy, and screws. I mean, I get it. They didn't want to just sell that one little cap. They want you to get the whole thing, spend some more money. It might even be worth the packaging, for what I wanted to pay and what I needed. So I got that, and I actually looked at X-Acto knife. I was going to X-Acto knife, cut this thing off my toe, because at home I got a toe knife. At home I literally have a toe knife. And me and my daughter discussed it, because I was telling her about it or something, and she was saying on Everything Sunny in Philadelphia, Danny DeVito has a toe knife. I was like, what? I got one too. It was just a regular steak knife or whatever with a serrated edge that I would use to cut the callus or bunion or corn, whatever you call it, off my baby toe on my right foot that always grows. I would just cut it off, literally saw it off, and then, shave it down and be much better, and I go on about my business. So I said, and my mother had one, but it got so bad yesterday, I was walking, there was so much pain in that toe, and the mother toe, I was like, oh my God. So I knew I had to do something. So I looked in her kitchen cabinet. She had the perfect knife for it. She had the perfect knife for it. But I knew if I used it on my foot, I wouldn't be able to put it back in there. So I said, let me Google. So I Googled Walgreens, and Walgreens had this thing, the recommended way of taking it off. It's like a shaver thing. So I picked one of those, and I picked up an ingrown toenail kit, which basically wasn't nothing but some diagonal cutters. Now, granted, they say the right tool for the right job. I get that, the right tool for the right job. And even though I paid $9 for some simple rudimentary instruments that I kind of already had at home, but I didn't, because number one, they're like, they're like my tools. They're completely unsanitary, rusted, semi-rusted. They're just like utility tools that you use outside and whatever, so you really don't want to use them on your body, in case of infection. So not only that, but it was precision, and it was made in such a way to really utilize to do the job. And also it was just like this little thing that you use to like get under the nail and push the skin back. It was like really looked like a stick with like two different, a flathead and like a kind of a spear kind of thing at the other end. And I'm like, oh my God. So I got it. And I said, what's this gonna do? Sure enough, the way you hold it, the way you can get up under that nail, the way you can push things and move things, and those basically diagonal cutters, that's what they were, basically diagonal cutters. They was able to get down in there, and I was able to snip away to where I had just cut a big chunk of that thing. I'm talking about my podiatrist toe, my ingrown toenail. I cut a big chunk of that thing off. I got up under there, because I knew where it was like hurting, and I saw it and I could feel it, and I used that thing like to pry up the nail. I already had pried the nail up and cut it off. I'd already pried the nail up and cut off about probably 1/8 of an inch. So the nail just goes like over to my foot. You can see where it's cut. I just sliced it, you know, using nail clippers. I sliced it so it didn't even go all the way over to where, you know, where it used to go. I just took a big slither right out of it. And then you could still, it was still callus or something under there growing. I lifted that up, used that little prod thing to get up under that like callus or whatever it was, and it wasn't hurting. You know, it was a little stinging. It felt like I was doing something now, but it wasn't hurting. So I was able to get up under there and do that. And then I used those cutters. I cut that stuff off. I cut it off. I just kept cutting and snipping and cutting. And then I had like a big chunk just hanging up. It was like a big chunk of it. I had cut under it and it was like facing up. It's like, ooh, this feels like something. This feels like something. And so I wanted to cut under it as deep as I could and get under it. You know, then when I started feeling real sensitive, I backed off a little bit. Until I finally cut it off. And then I was able to like pick it up and hold it, and you could feel it was like, it was hard. Not like a nail, or like, I don't want to say calcified skin, whatever skin. You could tell it was hard. It wasn't, you could see where it was gonna be a problem. You could see where, you know, it was gonna cause pain because it was like an ingrown nail, hardened skin. And you could see if the nail was gonna be bumping up against it, you was gonna have a problem. And I got that off, and I'm sitting there, and I haven't tested it out yet. So I'm sitting there, you know, I wonder if this, you know, really working. And I'm still trying to cut some more stuff off, and I'm doing this because I had already shaved the corn or the callus off my other foot. Because instead of sawing it off, the tool I got, all right, I'm gonna show y'all. All right, here's the fun part. I kind of got this set up. I was doing this in the bed this morning. I should be able to show you screenshots, all right? I'm gonna try to show you screenshots. All right, here we gonna go. I'm gonna do it going across the street. All right. Boom, that's my toe. That's my toe. And you can see that's the big chunk that I cut off. Now, I don't know if you can see the nail, but you can probably see where the nail is cut, where I just sliced the nail up, and that dead skin, look at that. Dead skin might be the word. All that dead skin or ingrown, whatever. That's it right there. That's when I was like digging under it and scraping it and prodding it. And that's what it looked like once I, you know, had messed with it and tore it up a little bit. That is the kit that I got. That's what I bought from Walgreens. It's actually a callus corn remover. And you can see, you can scrape it. It has a file that once you get it down to a certain level, you can use a more coarse file to file it down, or more fine one to file it down. But basically it's a razor blade hooked up to like a corkscrew looking thing, that where you slide the razor blade over your corn and it shaves it. You just got to go back and forth a bunch of times. You can see it coming off and you can feel it going off, which is much better than me cutting. Because when I would cut it with a knife, I would actually sometimes cut too deep and there would be blood. And of course you can see on the other side there, it's nothing but, is the thing in there? I can't see if that little prod thing is in there with the two edges thing. Don't look like it's in there. Hey, where's it at if it's not in there? It must have fell out someplace. But see, and that's the diagonal cutters that I use, and it's like a little prod thing to go there. That's what I use to get up under there. In this final picture, that's what I cut off. Of course, it's not the scale. And I wish I, put a penny there or something, so you can see how big it is, how big it isn't, I should say. But that's what I cut off. And then you can feel it, I rub it in my fingers. You can feel it's like a solid piece of something that would hurt if it was being rubbed against. It'd be like, feel like a solid piece of something that's gonna rub against your nail or your something, and it was gonna hurt. So that's that. And what I was doing today, and I set that up this morning. I finally was laying in the bed, just, Sunday morning, just laying in the bed. Out here on this close location, doing my share of caregiving / babysitting, or mama sitting, or elder sitting, or whatever you want to call it, And just laying in the bed, getting my moment for a while. Trying to get my moments. And I said, let me see if I can finally figure out how to do that. So if I'm walking down, I got it set up now, I got these overlays built, so that if I'm walking down, I can just go and add pictures to this one place. I built like a template, like an overlay template. And I just have to go change pictures in this one group of pictures that then I just fire up the overlay and run it again. I wonder if I guess once you run it, you can't run it again? What do you think? Let's see if I hit that like that, go back. Nope, you only can run it once. But I can put a prompt in there and I can put a stop in there, but you only can run it once. So, and that way if I'm walking, I can take some pictures and say, hey y'all, look, this is what I just saw. Pop those pictures in there, fire up the overlay, go on about my business. But now I gotta remember, well, I guess I don't. Because if I fire it up next time, once the overlay is built, it fires up all the time. It'll fire up. But if I don't hit it, it'll just stay like this, because the first slide is blank. So basically we're looking at a prompt, it's waiting on a prompt. And if you don't hit the prompt, it'll stay blank until it goes to the next picture. But anyway, so that was fun. And I'm out here walking. You probably see I'm walking a lot better, walking without the limp, walking without pain. Just like a little teeny little bit of residual sensitivity there, but nothing like it's been. It was bad yesterday too. Like I said, it got so bad yesterday that I was like, I gotta call a podiatrist. And I was like, oh, I Googled. They said, hey, let a podiatrist do it. I look at videos. If you don't do it right, it's just gonna grow back in 3 months. And at that point, I was like, I don't care if it go back in 3 months. I just wanted to stop right now. Because it was to the point I couldn't even walk around without no shoes on. It was just so irritating. And then that corn just got to the point where it was like making my baby toe nail hurt or be sensitive. I was like, oh God, enough of that already. But I got it fixed. I feel I got it fixed. I'm out here walking. Feels good. It's Sunday. Work tomorrow. I'm ready for it. Trying to get things lined up, trying to keep my momentum going. Definitely not eating as much. Maybe because of the Black and Miles. Weight is down. Feeling good. Sunshine. Happy Sunday. P-Funk show's coming up next month. Got my tickets and stuff ready for that. I gotta do my income tax. I'm gonna end up paying $17,000 in probably $20,000 in income tax this year. Let's just leave it at that. I'm gonna end up probably paying about close to $20,000 income tax this year. Nah, I take that back. It's probably more about $15,000. No, because I'm gonna have to probably come out of pocket $13,000 And I paid more than 7. I probably paid 11,000 doing because I filed single zero. So they take the max out. So the money I don't even see, I think I paid like 11,000, if not 17,000. I forget how much I paid, but it's a lot. It was a lot. I gotta remember how much I was taking out of my W-2. I'm sure it was more than 7,000. I'm sure it was more than 7,000. I think it was 11,000 or 17,000 was taken out during the year. Then I might have to probably pay another 13 on top of that. But I got the money, so I acquired the money. Let's just put it that way. So I'm good. Things to pay for. Got flights, tickets. Still got to get a flight home from when I go to the ultimate remote location for granddaughter's recital and the Cleveland Brown fans' birthday party, 60th birthday party. They all turning 60. A bunch of them turning 60 this year. My sister turned 60 day before yesterday. Cousins all born that same year. A lot of 1965s. A few 1965s, I should say. Ex-wife, did I say that? Ex-wife, my sister was best friends. So it's good. It's good to be out here walking. Feels good to be not limping, to be able to walk and not feel nothing. And all this time I was doing that, I tried different things, thinking I'm gonna need a doctor, I'm gonna need a podiatrist, I'm gonna need that, I'm gonna need this. Shoot. I got that stuff, I start prodding. Cause before I used a knife, before I sterilized the knife, I sterilized my toe knife, call myself sterilized my toe knife, where I like put fire under it, and then I wiped it off with alcohol, and I went to cutting. I went to sawing into it. And it made a little bit of difference. I felt a difference, but it came back. I didn't get deep enough. And then I started using that little prod thing, that little utensil, that little, what was called, thing, to get up under it and pry it up a little bit and use those sharp tweezers with an extra sharp point. Those, not tweezers, those diagonal cutters has an extra sharp, like not, surgical point, but they feel like they're surgical, really fine, sharp. So I was able to like snip like a really small area, a really small part, and to cut in there and just rip it. Oh, it was good. Oh, it was good. So that's that. And I was just thinking about my mother getting to the point where might not be able to leave her there by herself anymore, not even for like an hour or two. Like on this walk. I'm walking now. I mean, she'll be okay, but, and then if she's not, there should be a way for her to get help, regardless. So, but it's getting to the point where she shouldn't be there by herself at all. That means 24-hour care. And I've known people who given up their place and moved in with their mother. Financially, it's definitely a win. Financially, there's definitely advantages to it. No doubt about that. And, being there, nothing like being there. But you gotta be ready to give up your, I ain't gonna say privacy, but your independence, live with somebody else and be in there with their TV be on all the damn time. And just, Jeff, can you do this, Jeff? And they're not always coherent. They're only coherent. It don't even make sense sometimes. A lot of things be going on in their head, and they get mad at you because you don't understand what they're saying, not only you can't understand what they're saying because of how they're saying it, or what they're saying, or what they're thinking, and it's tough. I thought it's tough. I said, I can't win. I mean, you're right. You win all the time. Customers always right. There ain't no winning or losing, even though I think of everything that way. You know, whatever you say goes. Well, to a degree. Let's be realistic. Let's not go too far with that. But you know what I'm saying. For the most part, you know, you get the benefit of the doubt. And, you know, you got to understand you got to have some reasoning here. If you're going to throw something crazy out there, I ain't going to act like you did. Let's just put it that way. You're going to say something that's out there and I don't understand. I'm going to let you know I don't understand. Like, what? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? That's that's just the only way I know how to operate. That's the only way I know how to operate. Because I've seen people, and this may not be a correct anecdote or analogy. This might not be a correct analogy, but I've seen people assume they know what the person said or want, and it's not right. I mean, it was incorrect. And they go and they do and they do and they do, and they start the action out of the compassion and, you know, kindness or whatever, blah, blah. But it's not what was supposed to be done, because they just wanted to react. It's easier just to react and do it sometimes than to figure out what the hell you talking about. What the hell you talking about, lady? I said it. But gotta go through it. It's not gonna be pretty, but you gotta go through it. No way around it. I'm trying not to say it out loud, but we all gonna have to go through it one day. We all gonna be laying there knowing, oh well, you know, hope my stuff is in order. Or you get to the point where I always wonder, will I, or does somebody get to the point where they just don't want to be here no more? And I know the answer to that is yes, because I know more than one person who's expressed that. I know more than one person who said they tired, they done, they don't want to be here anymore. I've heard it said out loud. I mean, not directly, probably, but you know, they kind of give you that, yeah, I'm 96. This person was like 96, whatever. You could tell she was, she was like ready. You know, you can be ready. One thing I can say about my mother, she don't seem ready. I will say that. Whatever's in that lady, maybe it's just to keep us on our toes, to bug me, but she don't seem ready at all. And she is basically incapacitated. It's gonna get to a point where she ain't gonna be able to feed herself, move or anything, or speak or anything. But her body is pretty much healthy. It's deteriorated, but it's healthy. So, I mean, it could go on like this for a long time. Even if she, you know, just loses everything. But she's still hanging in there. And I always say too, that I'd rather have her mean, quote unquote, mean and tough and hollering at us than pitiful. You know, so kind of grateful for that. I just got to remember, you know, the situation, who I am, and what situation I'm in versus what situation she's in, you know, to give her the benefit of the doubt, which I don't usually do for people, which I don't usually give people a pass or handicap them like that. But I'm realizing it might be easier. It might be easier just to give in. That's your mother. You even said she made you what you are today more than anybody, and you love blah, 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 blah. Mother Teresa was raised or built to be that person. All these people who are benevolent and out there helping people, it's in their nature. It ain't in mine. That's all I'm saying. So I do the best that I can. That's not my job. That's not my position. Everybody can't be that. That's not my position. My role. That's not my role. My role is to come in here, look around, say what got to be said without apprehension or worry. Keep everybody on their toes, because when Jeffrey come in here, he gonna say something. You know he gonna say something. That's right. And I ain't gonna say I like that role, but it's who I am. That's what I'm comfortable with. I don't even know if I'm comfortable with it. It's just what I do. It's like before I think about it. Like Sam Harris says, there's no free will because we can't determine what we like. We don't determine what we like. What we like is determined before we think. That's what he said. I don't know how true that is or not. But it's like what you like is already put in place before you have time to think about it or something like that. So there's no free will. It's almost like it's predetermined what you're gonna like or not like in a weird sort of way. That's the way I interpret it. So, I mean, we are what we are. I know it sounds cliche and you hear it all kinds of different ways, but that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So I'm thinking about what food I want today. Don't want pizza. I can do that chicken. I can do some chicken. Maybe some fries. I go to Wingstop and get some Wingstop fries. I'm trying to stay away. I don't want to get a loaf of French bread or garlic bread. I don't want to go in that direction because of the quantity. So I just might just go to Wingstop, get some fries, and have some Cleo and Leo's fried chicken. Get an 8-piece. Like today, my mother wanted a Bravo burger. I said, lady, you ain't even eating the food you eating. She ain't even barely eating at all, but she wanna go buy more food. She got damn near 2 refrigerators full of food. And she be ordering Instacart. You know, that's the kind of people we are. You know, that was just part of our, thing, you know, eating and cooking. Because what she does, she'll spend hours and hours watching cooking shows and ordering food and having people cook for her, and she don't really eat. She don't really eat, and I guess she expect us to eat it. I'd be like, you know, that's how we participated. That's how we socially interacted. That was our social activities, around eating and cooking. So she ordering stuff and buying stuff and want this and want that just because I'm going out. She wants something like a little kid, really, it's just like a little kid. If I go out, I'm going to, guess, could you give me a churro? Yeah, I got it for her. She ain't gonna eat it. But you just gotta go through the motions to keep them involved. And I understand that part. You just gotta go through the motions to keep them involved. You can financially handle it. It may be worth the $3 for the churro and to go through the whole argument thing. But then again, every now and then, I gotta go through that whole argument thing. We gotta bump heads every now and then just to let her know, hey, I understand you're in a dire situation here. But we ain't giving up all hope yet. We ain't giving up all hope yet and treating you like you a complete zero and on your way out the door. That time will come, but it ain't right now. You should see, in fact, the way she looked at me, she did something, we was going back and forth. The way she looked at me, I just started laughing. Oh my God, I said, oh my God, the way she looked and turned her head at me. I was like, lady, I busted out laughing. I was like, oh, you gonna treat me like that? And I'm here, I'm supposed to do something for you? You know, and then, yeah, I mean, she's ailing and this, and there's just certain stuff like putting the pills in her mouth. Ugh, that ain't me. That ain't me. But I can see more and more she's not gonna be able to do it. Plain and simple, more and more, she ain't gonna be able to do it. Somebody gonna have to do it for her. You know, my thing is I'll hire somebody. We'll hire somebody or put her in a facility or something. And I'll take on that. That'd be my part of the responsibility. I'll pay for it. You know, quote, air quotes. Air quotes, because that shit is expensive. Ooh, somebody blew a tire. I think somebody blew a tire. Or one of them funky mufflers. Did you hear it? Go poof. Look at this. Can you see this real quick? Woo! Yeah, you can see what's. You ain't gotta look at me anymore. But, so, that's where we're at with that. And so I'm gonna, because you're gonna say, I'm gonna say to brother, she gonna want something. You got like a refrigerator full of food in there. So much food in there that the damn refrigerator don't even get cold no more. So much food in there, the damn refrigerator don't even get cold. And she ordering more stuff at Mr. Cart and this and that. And then want somebody to cook for her. Don't be putting me in them projects. I told her too, I don't like doing things for other people. She said, I don't care. I said, you better not care. Because we ain't there yet. You better not care. You better understand what you're asking for and who you asking. Because ain't no time, if it turn into a pity party, it's gonna get ugly. If this turn into a pity party, I don't do pity. I do, look, this is the way it's gonna go, or this is the way it looks like it's gonna go. This is out of our hands. Nothing we can do about it. What do you want me to do? I mean, that's just a practical. I'm like, look, I mean, the cards have been dealt. It don't take a rocket science to figure out how this is going in and which way this is going to go. We got to be prepared for it and deal with it. I feel so much better walking with my feet. Oh my God. It's like it's still a little bit of residual sensitivity, but no pain. Oh my God. It feels good just to walk on it and to feel my toes and my foot on the ground and just to feel that walking motion of the muscles of my feet. Oh, and the shoes. Oh, it feels so good. It does. But anyway, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And if I didn't say it, I'll say it again. Cleo and Leo's fried chicken at Stater Brothers is the best. That's the best. I had all those honey kettles and Goldenbergs and so and so and so and so. Those are the best. Oh, the Ralph's chicken, forget Ralph's. Ralph's had it, they lost it. Albertsons was first. Then theirs got a little too crusty and a little too salty. It got to the point where you almost couldn't eat it. It was like so much crust and salty crust. And whoa, then I think Albertsons went away or something. Like that, but that Cleo and Leo, woo. And Gus's is the finest. Gus's is the best and finest. Cleo and Leo is probably, I guess you could say best tasting and most relatively economical, the best price. But as far as fine chicken, of course they want like $70 for 20 pieces, but you don't get not one bad bite. Chicken is clean. There's no fat or like weird stuff in it, the way you can't chew it. And it's just the way it's made. They just put it, it's well done. It's the best. Fine, it's the highest quality. You'd have to say that's the highest quality fried chicken that there is out there. Franchise that you can pick up. So, get it done today, 201.8 or something like that this morning. I'll probably lose 2, maybe 1.82. So it'll probably, I'll be under 190. I should be under 200. I should be under 200 when I get back. I should be under 200, and I'll take that. I will take that. I would have been under 200 yesterday, but I ate before I walked. I'll take that under 200. I will. I will take it. Look at me, I just kind of walked over like a uneven part of the pavement with my toe, and I kind of just let the toe roll right over it. Just like flap, you know, like feeling that unevenness. And it didn't hurt. It feels good. It feels good. I went in there, cut that stuff. Oh, I was so happy. And then after I cut it off, I'm sitting there, and before I stand up on it, I said, oh, I wonder if that did it. I wonder if that did it. And you really can't tell. You really can't tell, even if you put shoes on and walk around and whatever. You really can't tell you get out here and doing it now. And it's a big difference. Like I said, still a little bit of sensitivity. And there was more sensitivity last night, actually. Last night, there was still a little bit more sensitivity. There was more sensitivity than there was this morning. If I like pinched or pushed on the sore part where it's supposed to be sore. It's less and less and less. And I don't think I'll go in there and cut some more stuff off. As time goes by, go in there, I'll cut some more stuff off. Because I think I know where, you know, how far they're up, where any kind of sensitivity, cut all that off. Whew. Anyhow, happy Sunday. Happy Atheist Day. Happy birthday to my sister. Happy. Happy. Feels good. Y'all wanna see the mountains? See if you can see the mountains. I know you probably can't. It's probably not the best picture. Probably low resolution. But anyway. Swinging on y'all 2 times. For me and for the funk. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all. Theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffrey.